Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going to the level 4 Silver Crown fight for Dark Reign, Advent of the Emperor, and doing an all mission clear. So the missions are no KOs, no continues, 5 turns or less, the boss is a dragon demon, and you can only take Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I'm sorry, no, that's wrong. You can only take JP Anniversary units. Now, like I mentioned in previous videos, these fights get kind of hard later on, where they really tune them expecting you to have leader skills, but thankfully the earlier ones, that's not really the case. This is one of the easier ones, although it is still pretty tricky if you don't have the right units. But we're going to do it all missions with no leader skill. So this is the party we're going to use. Now, Knights of Grandshell was supposed to have a leader skill. In JP, he was given a free leader skill during this patch. Global skipped it because Global loves to skip free upgrades. But, you know, we're still going to try to get it done with this party. Now, you don't need EX3, by the way. I know my team is mostly EX3. EX2 should work fine. We're only going to SLB on the final turn. Anyway, on turn 1, we're going to use Reagan to do That Is the Duty of the President for his 88 break. Fina is going to use her LB on turn 1. You do want EX2. Charlotte is going to use her cooldown physical cover, Hallowed Aegis' Vanquishment. Knights of Grandshell are going to start in the base form for Titus's Clothing, then go to the Shift and Tyvus' Spirit. Last one, Reagan, on this turn can just guard, honestly. So this turn is going to be some AoE physical damage. We're going to cover it with Charlotte, no big deal. And then an AoE Gravity, not a big deal. And you don't need Evasion on Charlotte either. Now the boss gets Mirage. So to deal with the Mirage, we're going to use Reagan the Return with Dual Wield to use 1,000 Needles. That'll get rid of the boss's Mirage and give us Mirage, which we're going to need. We're going to swap Charlotte over to Magical Cover with Knight of Knights AI, and we're going to use the Behemoth Field on Return Fina. Now, Knights of Grandshell are going to use their Shifted LB, and Lastwell Reagan with a multi-element weapon are going to use their Tag Chain so that we can tag it. So here we go. A little bit of damage on turn 1, perfect. Okay. And here is the AoE magic damage. We Mirage the physical. Oh, and some fixed damage too that bypasses cover. We can ignore it. But we also got completely dispelled. We lost all our buffs. So what we're going to do about that, we're also imperiled, which is a problem. So Reagan is going to use 1,000 Needles. There we go. Charlotte is now going to do Bushido Freedom, target our own party, and use it. That's going to dispel the Imperil. We already lost our buffs anyway from the boss. That just gets rid of the Imperil. Make sure she's not dual wielding. Now, we're going to use Fina the Return to put up Demon Killer with Delightful Glow, Brilliant Veil for the light buff, and it doesn't really matter. We can AoE re-raise if you need it, but doesn't really matter. Okay, Lastwell Reagan are going to cast Dragon Slayer and then double Absolute Mirror of Equity. Knights of Grandshell are going to cast their Magnus and double Absolute Mirror of Equity. I'm doing this wrong. This. And then this. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and chain this up. Now, the boss is going to use 2 attacks this turn. It's random what he does. They're either going to be AoE light damage, which we are going to be immune thanks to Fina's buff, AoE fixed damage, which we are going to Guts. If he does AoE fixed damage twice, we fail a mission. We basically fail the whole fight. If he does it only once or 0 times, we're fine. Once, we're going to Guts. Twice, we're going to be in trouble. So let's hope the boss doesn't use the AoE fixed damage twice this turn. Okay. He did it twice. I will be right back on turn 3 when he doesn't do that. So it's a little bit of RNG. We got to have him not do Atomic Ray twice on turn 3. Be right back. All right, guys, I've run the fight again. We're back on turn 3, and again, we're going to hope that the boss doesn't use a double Atomic Ray on turn 3. RNG is always fun. And Shining Laser, there we go. So 1 Atomic Ray and Shining Laser, we're good to go. Okay, so now on turn 4, now we're going to use the SLB of Reagan and Fina. Like I said, EX2 is totally fine here. And we're going to finish off the boss. So now that we're fully powered up, we've got the stacked up LB of Grandshell, we've got the SLB buff from Fina, we've got the good in peril from Reagan. We're ready to kill this boss, so go ahead and also now we have killer buffs. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and then do this, and that should be the end of the boss. Boom, there it is. We had no KOs, no continues, 5 turns or less, all missions, didn't even use a leader skill. That being said, I do realize my team is very well geared and pretty specific, but you know, it should have been a lot easier with Knights of Grandshell's leader skill, so I don't know why Gumi decided they had to skip that leader skill. So there it is, Knights of Grandshell got all the damage, and I will be going back in the future to try to get some budget runs with alternate units, like, you know, probably do a run with Dark Rain, etc. So here we go. I'll show you the team that we used. So Hallowed Aegis Charlotte. Just give her a little bit of bulk, a little bit of... I mean, you don't even need much bulk because we cover it for the most part, but give her some light resist, a lot of light resist, so that we survive turn 1 and 2. And then there we go. And then make sure she's not dual wielding, because we're going to use Bushido Freedom on turn 3 to cure our imperils. There we go. And then I didn't give her a card because you don't need to, and she's like actually barely even potted. She is potted a little. You don't need that. Trust me. The damage on turn 1 and 2 is very low as long as you do it this way. So just give her a little bit of bulk. Oh, and give her guts. The whole party needs guts for that turn 3 attack. Reagan the Return is dual wielding, very important. We're using 1,000 Needles and a little bit of Esperfill. Other than that, kind of whatever. He's just a breaker. We do his 88 break and his big Light in Peril on turn 4, and again, a source of guts. But he's got to be dual wielding so that we break both Mirage stacks on turn 2 with Needles. And make sure he's using 1,000 Needles. I think I mentioned that. Fina, put her on Bahamut, give her a source of guts, give her a little bit of Esperfill. Other than that, who cares? She does light support. EX2 is all you need, because we do her LB on turn 1 and her SOB on turn 4. So there you go. Last one, Reagan and the shift form are dual wielding multi-element weapons, you know, for better tag chaining. So Poppy's paintbrush, a dark weapon. You don't need to go this far, but you know, add some extra elements. Other than that, it doesn't really matter that much. A little bit of bulk, some guts, mana reduction, Esperfill, you know, kind of whatever. They're just here for Dragon Killer and tag chaining. Knights of Grandshell in the base form, starting there with Titus's Garb. Shift form are using, you know, Clash Gear, etc. His own sword. LB damage versus dragons and demons. Yeah, dragons and demons. And now that I think about it, I could have put Titus's Spear in the base form and given the shift form more... I mean, he's actually capped on everything. Maxed LB, max demon, max... Yeah, actually, so there's really nothing else to put there. Anyway, and then his own card. And yeah, he does all the damage. He doesn't have a leader skill, so we got that handled. And there's the way to do it for those of you that don't have a leader, you know, but do have some decent JP anniversary units. But okay. I will work on some alternative clears that are slightly more budget down the road. Might not be ready till tomorrow, but there we go. See you in a bit.